This week's game of the week here, we are at the lovely Thousand Islands High School on a beautiful October evening. Can't ask for much better weather, and some good Friday night lights on tap here for us. It'll be the Thousand Islands Vikings taking on the Weedsport Wolverines. So, and tonight I am joined by the one and only Joshua Madison. You may not have heard my voice this season because this is my first football game for the night, but happy to be back with our awesome fans here. And it looks like Thousand Islands will be set up to receive the ball here to start the game off. And if you are wondering, and as you will see here throughout the night, these two teams will play an 8-man style of football. So that does mean the field is a little not shorter, but it's a little skinnier, and you're going to see some different looks here. So it's going to be a little bit to get used to, but we'll do our best to help you navigate through that. So, Josh, how you doing this evening?
I am doing fantastic, and I am very excited for this game. It's my first 8-man football game that I've ever been to, and I'm very excited to see all the new formations and all the new plays that we'll see tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting, especially when it comes to the offensive line, because with this, and that's a squib kick, if you will, and Thousand Islands just falls on the ball. They'll take over at about the 31-yard line here. So what we were saying was, with 8-man, you have the ability to kind of choose your looks here, especially on the offensive line. So we'll see. Seems like Thousand Islands does have a bit of a more balanced approach here on their offensive attack. So we will see what they come out of the gates here with.
Not too many wide, looking like a bunch of running backs behind him.
Bernhardt's going to throw the ball. That pass was intended for Braden Jones.
Right through the hands there. It was a very deep ball. Great way to start this one out. Just airing one out.
Something tells me we're going to see a lot of the air game here from Thousand Islands in the early going and try and get looks like they want to try and get up on the board here first and be the first to score. Looks like they're going to be in a passing formation here again. Oh, and they do hand the ball off.
That's Jacob Coyne with the run. Gets a good 10. We'll see exactly where they spot it. But I think they will give him a first down. And it will be. It's a great run there from Jacob Coyne.
Great tone setter play right there for the Vikings at Thousand Islands.
Yep, and it's a really well-drawn play after a deep pass like that to then go short. But it does look like they're going for a very different formation for this play. Another handoff.
Ball off again.
Coyne's got another run. He gets a few there. He'll get about 5. So it'll be about 2nd and 5, depending on where they spot it. Looks like they'll give him 6. So it'll be 2nd and 4. TI is looking to run the ball a little bit to move this ball forward, and I like what they're doing.
Yeah, they definitely have Weedsport on their toes a little bit here. Weedsport's not sure what attack to throw at them because their looks are showing one, and then they're putting the ball on the ground, and it's on the ground again.
19, Drake Rios,
Not as much success on that run for Drake Rios, but
Yeah, Rios with his first carry of the night here.
another thing we're seeing is TI is not afraid to give different players the ball. They're willing to share the wealth around the field. We'll see another new formation for them. Back in motion. And another handoff. This one will get a few more. Bounce it out to about the 50. Another good run there for Jacob Coyne.
Looks like he's going to be about 4th and about 2 to go here. So it'll be interesting. TI's had early success here out of the gates with the run game. I think they are probably going to put it on the ground again and let their running backs try and charge through and pick up these couple yards and convert the 4th down.
Absolutely. That looks like what they'll do.
And they will have gotten the first down.
Nice job by the blockers there, just to give them enough room to get the first. Just need to push that defensive line back just enough to get Jacob that first down. Very well done there by T.I. to get that first down.
Thousand Islands now is in the Weedsport side of the field here. Let's see what they do. I want to say this looks like a pass play, but they've been disguising their looks well. But he does drop back. Completion to number 88, Seth Fulton. Beautiful completion there.
Number 88, Seth Fulton.
I do say it is somewhat refreshing to see some more passing plays. These past couple weeks, seen a lot of run games from different teams. It's a little relieving to see the ball flying through the air like that.
Yeah,
nice pass there.
A little change of pace, but we have had a lot of powerhouse schools last week in the run game. Rios had the ball there.
Number 19.
Took about all 8 players on Weedsport to stop him moving. Fighting for those yards.
3. Second down.
They'll only give him 3 from it. Same formation here for T.I. Fakes the handoff to 1. This time they'll hand it off to Jacob. Won't get very far. Gets hit on the snap.
I think a gain of about 2 here.
Doc Stater on the carry.
It'll be 3rd and about medium.
Good
With
defense.
how much success they've had on the offense. A little shocking to see them slow down right here.
About 7.
We'll see what they draw up here, hoping to get back into moving forward. They do hand it back off.
Coins off to the races.
Another good run for them.
Doc Stater.
Don't think it's enough for a first down. They may hold them at about 2 or 3 yards short. So it'll be another 4th down here for the Vikings.
And it looks like
Oh,
first down for the Vikings.
I am wrong. It is a first down.
I was going to say, it looked like a first down, but where we are here, couldn't quite see that first down line. Thousand Islands putting a good pace on the opening drive here for this game. Coins trying to run around. Oh, he shakes one tackle, and he gets it quickly swallowed up by 2 Weedsport defenders for a loss of about 8 yards, I would say.
Doc Stater on the carry.
Yeah, one thing you can't say about this Vikings offense is that they are they're fighters. They are trying to move this ball forward no matter the cost. Jacob Coyne took multiple tackles there before finally being brought down. And it took a couple of the Wolverines to bring him down. They'll set up for a 2nd and long. Another handoff to Coyne. They'll run it to
with
the
ball
outside.
again. Nice pickup by number 23, Jacob Coyne.
Doc Stater on the carry.
Looks like they'll still be behind their original line of scrimmage, so it'll still be about 3rd and 11.
Down back about 4 yards.
But with how their offense has been moving, this 3rd and 11 is not impossible.
I think we can expect to see maybe Bernhardt drop back and step up in the pocket here and see what he can make happen down the field in the air. No, he does hand it off to Coyne again. Coyne cuts up the field, and I believe he will have enough to pick up the first down.
Doc Stater on a big run.
That's a play that you really do have to hand that one off to the offensive line. Just created an enormous hole for Jacob Coyne to run right through. As we take another look at, looked like a play from before, but the offensive line broke a very big hole for Jacob Coyne to run right through. He found his open space, and he's a very elusive running back. Got some good yards for him.
And actually, that was correction. That was Nolan Dockstader that had that carry. Want to make sure we give credit to where it was. That was a heck of a run. And here we are. Here we're going to take another look at it. We think.
Doc Stater.
technology is not on our side tonight, folks. So just bear with us here.
There it is. Again, he's a very elusive running back, just kind of moving back and forth. But some nice blocks by the offensive line gave him the room to move around like that. As they are now inside the 10. They started the drive just inside the 15. And we'll see if they can punch this one in. Hand off to the, looks like Rios over there. Didn't get a lot. In fact, I don't even know if he got back to the line of scrimmage. But they'll hold him at the 10 for another third down.
And all of our replays are brought to you by Carthage Area Hospital. We do appreciate their generous support and awesome partnership here for our high school football season this year so far.
They are going to hand this one off to Coyne. He's pushing his way through.
Coyne is still a chugging. Wow. Talk about a just an aggressive old school running back style here. Coyne just puts his shoulder down and not one guy has brought him down. That's had to have been 2 or 3 guys at a time to eventually get him down out here tonight.
That's something that you just can't teach as a coach. That's all player driven right there, to just want every single yard, every single play. And they may stop him just a few inches short of the first down. So we'll see what they draw up here, but they are mere inches away from that first down at the 5-yard line. It actually seems like the first down marker is on the same yard line, but just a little bit farther ahead. They are going to hand this one off to Coyne. He'll dive forward. See where they spot him. That was close.
It's going to be very close here.
It looks like it doesn't even look like he gained half a yard there, but that might still be enough, and it's not.
It is not enough. It'll be a turnover on downs. Unfortunate end of the drive there for Thousand Islands, but on the other side of the coin, Thousand Islands did have some good rhythm to that drive, but fell just short. But not with any lack of effort. Jacob Coyne, definitely showed a lot of grit on that drive. But Weedsport now will be taking the ball over at about the 10-yard line, 15-yard line, excuse me.
This is not going to be an easy play, being backed up like this.
Mason Coker, the quarterback for Weedsport, he hands the ball off. Trevor Moon on the carry.
And I think forward motion will stop at about the 1, so they will hold him at the 1. But if you're TI, that is almost exactly what you want. You usually want it to be a safety or something like that, but they will definitely take them down at the 1, making this play even more difficult for Weedsport to try and move this ball forward. Looks like it's going to be a quarterback keeper.
Quarterback keep, and that should be a safety. Nope.
I think the ref is marking them.
He's still, like, it's a 1.5-yard line.
That is close. But it is a third and very long for Weedsport, so this is very important to get this ball out because it's very deep back, so a punt is going to be difficult to get off. But also, it'd be very dangerous to go for it if you get to that 4th down. So big play for Weedsport.
Coker hands it off. Trevor Moon on the carry again. He'll pick up, it looks like, about 10 or 12 yards there on the carry. Definitely a step in the right direction here for Weedsport. Still is going to be, I believe we're on 4th down here. It'll be 4th down and another zip code to go here for Weedsport, but at least they're not pinned right on the goal line here.
And that's very important, making this 4th down a little bit more comfortable. And it looks like they will go for it. No, they
Oh,
will.
they did punt it.
Doesn't look like T.I. has any interest in receiving this punt. They'll just let it roll.
Yeah, T.I. knew they were going to get good field position out of this no matter what way. So smart play by T.I. to not risk any big defensive plays from happening and them having missed up on the return here. So T.I. offense will be back out on the field.
By the Vikings.
Good job there by the Weedsport offense to keep themselves out of the end zone, keeping themselves away from that safety, because that really sucks the momentum out of you and really can drive a whole team down. T.I. will start with a handoff to Jacob Coyne, who
Coyne's off to the races. He's got two guys with him. He's not down yet, and he will go all the way. T.I. touchdown for number 23, Jacob Coyne. Heck of a run by Coyne.
And we were saying it earlier, it takes multiple Wolverines to bring him down.
He took three guys with him on that.
Yeah, even with multiple Wolverines, as we take another look. Another great block here. You see number 70 there.
Shakes the one tackle. Oh, he's taking him. He's got two guys he ends up dragging with him there. Then finally breaks free. Once again, that was brought to you by our friends at Carthage Area Hospital.
Good shout out there for the offensive lineman there, number 70. He had a great block there on the edge. They try and go for two, but this time, not letting him go anywhere.
2-point conversion.
Stopping him there, but
Not successful.
T.I., one play drive, getting it all the way to the end zone. They're up 6-0. It's a good way to start this game.
Weedsport,
I think we got to take a moment here to shout out our awesome friends at Bob Johnson. If it wasn't for Bob Johnson, we wouldn't be able to bring you these games every Friday night that we love the chance to be able to bring to you, and so you can watch it at home. Couldn't talk there for a second. If you're in the market for a used car, go see our friends at Bob Johnson. You can view their entire inventory at bobjohnsonautogroup.com. Great deals are always happening here at Bob Johnson. I've driven by there the last couple days here in my travels for work, and man, I think there's something there for everybody. They've got cars and trucks and Jeeps, and you just never know what's there. So make sure you go give our friends at Bob Johnson a visit. And you've seen already a couple times Carthage Area Hospital is our replay sponsor. Have an orthopedic injury, North Country Orthopedics offers same-day appointments. Call 315-782-1650 today and get the care you need. Looks like Luke Natalie set to kick here.
Line drive kick. That may go all the way to the end zone.
That will go all the way into the end zone. Very unique kick there. You don't see a lot of those.
No, just a laser.
Yeah. Wouldn't want to have my head in the way. That'd hurt if that hit you.
No. Sometimes they wear helmets for the tackles, and sometimes for those line drive kicks right at you.
Weedsport.
In case you take one to the head.
1st and 10.
Weedsport will take over at about the 20 on that touchback.
Weedsport, I think, will be looking to have a little bit more sound drive here. And, right now it's interesting in the standings for these two teams. They are right behind each other. Thousand Islands is just a step ahead of Weedsport. So looking to maybe get a little bragging rights here on the season. That run quickly gobbled up.
Number 1, Mason Koser on the carry.
Mason Kosher, he's not afraid to run it, even as the quarterback. And that one, T.I. just jumped on and wrapped him up quick. Didn't want to go down, but T.I. just held him there until the whistles blow and called the play down. We'll see if they can get a little bit more success on this next play after only a 3-yard gain. That one.
Coker keeps it himself. Charges ahead for about 3 yards, 4 yards on the play. Interesting here from Weedsport. We haven't seen a lot of attacks through the air. They've been a lot of QB sneaks, and he's only been able to get a few yards. So we'll see if maybe they do decide to switch to the passing game here as we do already reach the end of the first quarter.
Would be interesting. They may catch this TI defense off guard with. They haven't even passed it once this game, so it would be interesting here on 3rd down. Doesn't look like it. They'll keep it to Moon, and he'll dance around a little bit before finally being hit to the ground.
Number 5.
Looked like he lost the ball there. TI player ended up with it, but they called him down on the play, so that will bring up a 4th and 2, but I don't think they'll even snap the ball, as we'll end the first quarter right there.
Doc Stater, Rania.
If there's really one thing that Weedsport will need for these next 3 quarters, it's be able to move that ball forward a little bit better.
Yeah, I think they're going to need to go to the pass game to do that, because Thousand Islands has their number right now. As we do hit the end of the first quarter, the score is Thousand Islands 6, Weedsport 0. Weedsport's tried to do the QB sneak, in the run game, and like we were just saying, Thousand Islands has got their number. I think for Weedsport to really see some success here in the second quarter, it's going to need to be some passes mixed in. And I do want to take a couple moments here real quick to let you know we have now joined the NBC Watertown stream team has joined the 21st century, folks. We have a TikTok page where we will post all of our highlights that we have from our games week to week, and then we'll be doing some season-long stuff here too. So it's just NBC Watertown. If you're on TikTok, go look us up at NBC Watertown for all of the latest highlights and different behind-the-scenes videos that we'll post throughout the last couple weeks here of the season. And speaking of highlights, I think we need to make mention of our friends at IBEW 910 Nika, and they are our player of the game sponsor. IBEW 910 Nika, your source for local qualified electricians. So we're really looking right now, folks, for that electric player of the game here and that difference maker for either of the two teams tonight. We are underway here now at the second quarter.
Another QB keeper on 4th down. We'll see where they spot him. His forward momentum looks like they carried him to the 30. So it will be a Weedsport 1st down, I believe. Again, depending on exactly where they spot him. And they do give him a 1st down. So a big 4th down conversion for the Weedsport Wolverines, especially on a drive like this one. Their first drive got stopped pretty deep in the backfield. This time they go for it on 4th down, and it pays off getting out to that 30-yard line and getting a new set of downs. Looks like they'll stick to their game plan, giving it to Moon, but
Pitch to Moon did not really work that time, as T.I. said, no, sir, you cannot come past that line of scrimmage. And I think it will be no gain, or maybe a gain of a yard.
Gain of maybe 3. Doc Stater, among others, on the stop.
Looks like they're going to give them about 3 yards on the carry on that.
Sometimes the refs they spot it a little bit further than what we can see. The Weedsport will take a 2nd down, and they are going to pass. Flag comes in. He will get rid of it, but it'll fall incomplete. A flag comes in. I think that's going to be some sort of illegal block.
Flag on the play.
Yeah, it will be. A holding on the offense. Not what this team needs right now when trying to move that ball downfield. First passing play of the night, and they felt the pressure. Mason Kosher had to roll out, and in fact had to throw it away, but blocking just grabbed a little too much of his jersey, and that's going to get the flag and move them back 5 more.
Something interesting to note here as we're getting reset. We talked about how Weedsports were very run heavy right now, and there's some numbers here to back that up. Mason Coker, who is the quarterback, he's had the ball for 82 attempts with 343 yards. He only has just under 200 passing yards on the season. So definitely they do like to keep the ball in Coker's hands as the quarterback.
Not only just the quarterback, but also the man who just ran that one. He lost a couple there, but Trevor Moon, he's found some success on the run game. He does have 56 rushing attempts, but he's hitting 406 yards before tonight. That one will not help that total. But we'll see a big third and very long for Weedsport.
Coker does get his. Well, no, that ball will fall incomplete.
As intended.
Andrew Powers was the intended receiver on that play. That's going to bring us to a 4th down and a mile and a half to go here.
That one, you have to credit the defense. He had the ball in his hands, and the defender just ran over and knocked it right out. Very important play for TI.
It's like they're going to send, nope, and they're going to punt the ball off here.
And again, TI is just going to let this one roll.
Interesting design here. This is twice now that Weedsport's punted, but TI has not put anybody back to receive the kick. And, you know, with 8-man, that is, it is a different look potentially. But you would think they'd have somebody back there for, some of these situations. The first punt, not as much. They knew where that ball was roughly going to land, put them in good field position, so not of, bigger importance. But, it's an interesting thing to see here, and it's a difference between, an 8-man and a traditional 11v11 league here.
I agree. And, especially with 8-man, there are some less players to run around, and although the field is a little skinnier, you do have, more. It seems like you have more room to work with. We'll see TI with their first play.
Drops back.
Bernard pass to number 22.
Looked like Cole Jankowski
Jones
with the hit there to stop that passing play.
for about 5.
But a nice catch there from Braden Jones. Braden Jones was nearly the first points up on the board. On the first play of the game, he had a pass downfield that went through his hands. You can tell on that play, making sure that ball stays in those hands for that play. Get those yards.
Going with the handoff.
Doc Stater on the carry. About
Nice.
a couple yards.
Nice tackle there from the defense. That one had potential to be another breakout run for Coyne, just like it was on that play that scored them their 6 points. But again, a great job there from the defense to just grab that foot and knock him down. As we'll see a 3rd and about 4 for the Vikings.
Bernhardt here is the Lone Ranger in the backfield. Coyne in motion.
They'll give it to
Coyne
him.
looking to turn up the field and get some serious yards here.
Number 23, Doc Stater. Out of bounds. Seaward Smart.
Interesting.
And folks, we have been referring to the wrong player here. I did not realize our rosters were misnumbered. So that was Nolan Dockstader on those last couple carries, just for clarification.
We'll see what they do now. That was a great run from him and didn't try to juke him out at all, just ran right through him. It's not a fun tackle to have. This time they'll hand it back off the other direction.
T.
That will be Drake
Fields on the
Rios
carry.
with that one. And he'll get a good chunk of yards. Looks like he gained 3 or 4.
7. Vikings.
The Vikings will continue to move the ball upfield through the run game.
Vikings demonstrating early control here of the game. Nothing too rushed or anything. They're just slow and methodical moving up the field here.
A little bit of a
Fumbled
bump.
snap, so he's got to keep it, and he will take off.
Great run there from Bernhardt.
Thomas Burkhardt.
Not really one that that we're used to seeing from him, but if he gets his legs moving, he's not afraid to take off.
Of a first.
It was a heck of a recovery by Bernhardt on that fumbled snap.
He only has 7 rushing attempts on the year. This was his 8th right there. But sometimes when you muff a snap like that, everyone just kind of goes into panic mode, and nice job from Thomas to not force anything, but just run it himself.
Doc Stater with the carry.
Another Viking first down. Doc Stater just lowering the shoulder and running right through. Weedsport has had trouble stopping him from gaining those types of yards. He is having his way so far tonight. We'll see another new set of downs for the Vikings. As Doc Stater with another first down carry. This one they'll have Rios in motion. We'll then hand it back off the other way to Doc Stater. He'll try and push his way forward, but to no avail as he'll actually end up losing a yard.
Doc Stater on the carry. Not much there.
He was fighting for it, but
By Weedsport.
too many Wolverines in the backfield for him to fight through.
Talk about a little misdirection there. It did have Weedsport off balance at first. They quickly recovered. Thousand Islands couldn't quite land those last couple blocks to allow Doc Stater to turn up the field.
I like the play call with a lot of those handoffs like that one. Usually, sometimes you'll get the defense to get used to those play calls and end up trying to cheat you. That one, cheating.
Doc Stater's got the ball again here. Turns up the field, lands a big hit.
Doc Stater once again.
That one seemed a little helmet to helmet, and that can be very dangerous.
Yeah, I heard that the thud of the helmet and pads up here. So
I mean, we've mentioned it already tonight. Doc Stater is not afraid to lower the shoulder and just run right through somebody rather than running around them.
and they're giving Doc Stater a chance to catch his breath here after that run. It's like Spies and Rios in the backfield here. Rios with the carry, quickly gets stopped, but not before he gains about a yard on that play.
Number 19, Drake Rios on the carry. Good stop by Weedsport.
That'll bring up a pretty decent fourth down. Definitely the farthest fourth down that we have seen from TI's offense. We'll see if they keep trying to go for it, which they've been very successful so far tonight, or if they'll try something new. They're about at the 34. Doesn't look like they're kicking a field goal here. They will fake the
Bernhardt
hand.
back to pass. Gets it off quickly.
That was, I believe,
Luke Natalie on the catch on for the Vikings there. Good heads-up play by Bernhardt to keep his eyes open as he had faced some pretty heavy pressure there, and kudos to 54 Luke Natalie on being able to catch that and gain a few more yards off of that completion.
yeah. I mean, fair to say that he was definitely not Bernhardt's first option on that play, but like you said, some great heads-up thinking. But they will end up, I believe that will actually,
Downfield for the Vikings.
oh, so they will end up calling an illegal man downfield. A play like that, usually if a lineman starts blocking a little too far out on a pass play like that, or,
For Weedsport
you know,
at their own 34.
there's a whole plethora of reasons for a call like that, but either way, it will still be Weedsport ball, and they will start it at the 34 for their new drive with just under 6 minutes left here in the half.
Coker keeps it himself, shakes out a one tackle, then does get brought down. I want to say for a loss of about 2 yards on that play.
On the carry. Viking defense holds it to no gain.
I'm calling it no gain on that.
Another player on this field who's really just pushing for yards, not willing to go down no matter how many defenders trying to bring him down. This one, he's looking to pass. Gets it to him. And that is going to be Trevor Moon with the catch. Runs it out for a good 6 yards, 6 or 7. Actually, looks like they'll give him 8.
Trevor Moon is the receiving team receiving leader right now for Weedsport here, so no surprise that Coker would look to him in that scenario. Weedsport might be putting something together here. A couple early plays in this drive that have gotten them the yardage they need to make this a very manageable third down scenario.
Another keeper for him. That'll get him a first down for sure. Looks like they'll spot him at the 49. Another good run there for Mason Kosher there. Was not willing to get another fourth down there. They just wanted the first as soon as they could. This is a big drive for the Wolverines. Their defense has held them to within 6, so a touchdown would tie this game. So a big drive for the Wolverines indeed. Back over to Moon.
Moon shakes out of that tackle, still cutting up the field. Now his legs are turning.
Number 5, Trevor Moon. On the carry.
Looked like they wrapped him up 3 or 4 yards behind the line, but he pushed himself back to the line of scrimmage.
Good recovery by Trevor Moon on that play.
Sure was. We're just passing 3 minutes here in the first half. We'll see what Weedsport has up their sleeve to try and get down the field and punch one in. Second down, a flag comes in, and they'll stop the play.
Play is blowing dead.
This almost always is now a penalty on the offense. He is specifically pointing at Trevor Moon.
Procedure penalty against Weedsport.
They will catch him with a false start.
Second down and 15.
That'll knock this play back 5 yards. Looked like Trevor was just trying to get downfield for a pass and just jumped a little too early. Still going to pass regardless. Looking deep downfield. Overthrown and incomplete.
Great defense by the quarterback, actually, Thomas Bernhardt. Got himself in the way of that pass without getting a hand on the receiver there. So T.I. with a big stop. It's going to make it third down in the next zip code here for Weedsport to convert.
Yeah, not going to be an easy third down, but we'll see what they can do here.
Coker keeps it himself. Saw a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel there, but he will get stopped about 4 yards short.
That right there is a read option from the quarterback, trying to scan the field. And a good job there from the blockers to give him a lane to pull that from Trevor Moon and just take it himself. He got a good chunk of yards, but they are still about 3 yards away from that first down. We'll see what they do here on this side of the field.
Moon takes off.
He is not going to go down easy.
Want to say he is going to have a first down.
He is. They will spot him with a first down.
Moon pushed himself through some traffic. And speaking of traffic, ride through any traffic in style with our friends at Bob Johnson. Give them a call today at 315-965-8072 and see what hot new toys they've got and hot what new hot rods they've got for you to choose from on their lot today. Coker kept it himself on that one.
Yep, we've seen Weedsport is starting to spread the ball around a little bit more, calling some different plays, not just the same ones that they did in their first couple of drives. We've seen a few more QB keepers on this drive. We've also seen quite a few more passing plays on this drive than we have in the previous ones, as we are just under a minute here in the half.
Coker tosses it to Moon.
Looked like a bit of an odd tackle. Did you stop the clock? We'll see. Maybe just be calling it from out of bounds.
And we do, real quick, want to remind you that we, thanks to our friends at IBEW 910 Nika, they are our player of the game sponsors here for all of our games this season. IBEW 910 Nika represents professional technicians and contractors across 6 counties. Awesome organization for a lot of these electricians in the area. Gives a lot of up-and-comers some new and improved opportunities to enter into the field of electrician work. Some confusion going on here for some reason. Maybe you're not sure where the ball needs to officially be placed.
I believe they're putting some...
They added some time back on the clock.
Yeah, they believe they were calling Trevor Moon out of bounds on the play, and the clock continued to run after he was down. So the coach is confused on why the clock continued to run. And so now Weedsport will take a timeout with 42 seconds left in the half.
North Star Health Alliance and its members, Carthage Area Hospital, North Country Orthopedics, Claxton Hepburn, and Meadowbrook Terrace are dedicated to keeping healthcare local. Trust us, close to home. Carthage Hospital is bringing you all of our replay sponsors this year, and once again, we always thank them for their support of high school sports and our community events that we do here. And we're going to be back in action here with 42 seconds left to play in the second quarter. Been a very fast first half here tonight.
Sure has, and that's partially been because of the low scoring, but a lot of running. This one no different. The ball comes free. And it will be TI ball. The ball came out just before Coker went down. And it looks like TI jumped on it.
Way to stay with the ball on the TI side of the ball here as we take another look.
Looked like they just kind of grabbed his arm there, and eventually the ball just popped free. You kind of see it pop free there. With so many players around, it's a little difficult to see that. Nice job from the Vikings to pounce on it and give him another drive.
It appears it was Ramsey on the takeaway for the TI defense.
It's a big takeaway to stop this drive. And unless something happens here, TI could easily walk into the half up 6.
Number 2,
Looked like Caden Spees on that carry.
I think Spees might have gotten a little bit ahead of himself on that carry because he, as soon as the ball was in his hands, he was almost kind of falling forward a little bit too far, and that may have prohibited him from grabbing a couple extra yards.
I think he started running before he had the ball. This time it will be a QB keeper trying to just run around. He will go down, but with the clock ticking, that will end the half. So TI will go into the half with a 6-point lead on the Nolan Dockstader rushing touchdown. It's quite the long touchdown at that. But the defense is definitely shown for both of these teams, keeping the other team down and score.
Yeah, it's been an interesting game because it's been so low scoring, but I would say it's been a defensive first half here for both sides of the ball. Weedsport got kind of caught with their heels planted in the turf here in the early goings, but they were able to recover and put up a couple stops to Ti, who was, the argument I thought when we first started this game, I thought Thousand Islands was going to have their way the first half here and really score a couple touchdowns, but defenses on both sides of the field here have kind of woken up and put some stops together. But, well, folks, that is going to take us into the halftime here. And want to give our shout-out to our sponsors here one more time before we take a break. Bob Johnson, there's always great deals happening at Bob Johnson. You can, there'll be any deal on new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram vehicles by $30 a month. This day and age, $30 a month, man, I'd say that's almost as good as $100 a month or more. If you are interested in what they've got on the lot, you can see their inventory at bobjohnsonautogroup.com or give them a call at 315-965-8072. Why drive to Syracuse, Rochester, Utica, or Vermont? North Star Health Alliance keeps healthcare local and close to home, right where you need it. Then you can expect every project to be on time and on budget with IBEW 910 NECA Electricians Union and Electrical Contractors. They will be our player of the game sponsors here, and out of the gate here in the early goings, I'm gonna probably make the case that it's gonna be number 23 Nolan Dockstader. But after we get back here into the second half, we'll see who prevails as the IBEW 910 NECA player of the game. And on that note, folks, we need to step away, take a quick break, and we will be back shortly. right, welcome back, folks. We are back underway here as looks like Weedsport will get the ball. Yeah, Weedsport will receive the ball here to start off the second half. And if you missed the first half, it's been an interesting dynamic of a game here. You know, the case could be made, well, you can't really say it's an offensive or defensive game, but I would say the defense is both defenses have prevailed, especially in the later part of the first half, as the score is only 6-0 at the interesting look for a kickoff here. A lot of antics, a lot of theatrics going on here.
See, Weedsport has done their homework. They were set up in a little bit of a closer kickoff return just in case. Now they've backed up for this part.
Natalie with a almost like a onside kick, maybe.
That one had some potential to break free. Nice job by Thousand Islands to eventually bring him down. But a good return nonetheless. They'll start on the other side of the 50. Lincoln Vincent with the return. With that shape of the football, sometimes you get a weird bounce. That one bounced right to him. Weedsport will start. It'll be a QB keeper up the middle. They'll get brought down after about 3. It'll be 2nd and 7.
In the half, I did have the ability to kind of overhear the tone of Weedsport's huddle as I was walking by their side of the field, and it was definitely a little bit more of, I don't want to say aggressive, but coaches were trying to light a little bit of a spark here for this Weedsport team to make them a little more lively coming into the second half. Oh, Moon's set up to receive the snap. Moon's off to the races. He could go all the way, and he will easily score for Weedsport. Little change of pace there for Weedsport. Normally they've got Coker and under center, but Trevor Moon was in the backfield. He took the snap, and the rest was history. He cruised into the end zone.
And with Trevor Moon, he does a great job. Once he gets those feet going, it's tough to catch up to him, as you see here on this one. Just a direct snap right to him, and a couple of good blocks, a couple of good holes, and some great speed from Trevor Moon. As they go for 2 here, another direct snap to Trevor Moon. This one won't go. But that was what Weedsport was missing, was that big play to punch it, take it into the end zone, and tie this game up. Only takes them 45 seconds into this second half to do so, as we now have a tie ball game here in the third quarter. That'll make this first drive for Thousand Islands just that more exciting. I mean, TI's first drive of the first half turned into 6 points. But since then, they seem to have slowed down their offense a little bit. Whether Weedsport has just caught up to them or their offense just wasn't gelling as well. They would drive downfield, and it would seem like they would get stopped at about midfield and give it back to Weedsport. They would do about the same.
Trevor Moon was just as hungry as I'm hungry for a direct subs right now. I could go for a good old steak and cheese sub. They are partners with our high school football here for the whole season as well. So a huge shout out to Direct Subs. Find your local Direct Subs near you and get some of their tasty subs today. A little dribbler.
It's going to be Rios running that one. They'll get out to about the 43. That'll be about where TI starts.
1st and 10, Vikings.
I like what you're saying. I mean, I just had dinner, and I could still go for a direct stub right now.
I may have to stop and get a nice good old steak and cheese. Either a steak and cheese or a cheeseburger sub. Can't go wrong with either. And they got cold subs too that's good. I mean, who doesn't love a good cold cut sub too?
Can't really go wrong with any sub there.
Especially their fried pickles too are always really good.
First snap for TI goes nowhere. Weedsport stopping them behind the line.
The switch is flipped over on that other side of the field here. Those guys are flying around. Makes you wonder, is TI going to mix up their reads here a little bit?
I mean, it looks like that halftime huddle that you were hearing. Looks like it worked. They are moving with some pace here. This Weedsport offense and defense, they are running with a little bit more purpose on each snap. There's going to be a handoff to Rios, trying to move. A flag comes in.
Could be a free play here.
For 19, Rios on the carry. There is a flag on the play.
Let's see where this goes. And that. So it will be a holding on the offense. However, it is declined due to the fact that if it is a holding, the play will go again, which will then keep it at second down. However, with it being a -1 yard rush and them declining the penalty, it will now be 3rd and about 13 for the Vikings.
Unusual scenario here for TI. They did not find themselves in this scenario much in the first half. Let's see how they respond to a little bit of adversity here in a couple minutes into the third quarter.
Going to keep it on the ground. And he is going to get stopped after a gain of about 7.
Inside handoff.
And the only issue is because of how far back they are, that will make it a 4th and 8.
It was William Rames here on the carry. Wanted to try and find a couple more yards out of that play, but couldn't quite do it. They've got a 4th and 8 here. We'll see what they got. Might be a good time to go back to that the pass game. Let Barnhart throw it, kind of air the arm out a little bit and see what they can make happen.
I was kind of expecting to see that there on 3rd and that long, but we'll see if they go for that here.
Appears they will.
Tipped up there on the pass.
Bernard pass, broken up.
Looks like Caden Spees was the intended receiver. Just as he was about to catch that, gets hit across the field, and that will be a turnover on downs. And all of a sudden, Weedsport seems to have all of the momentum on their side, which it seemed like they had none in the first half. So a very big change of pace on this second half. This one, another snap. Trevor Moon seems to be the QB now.
Trevor Moon still chugging. Man, I want to say he had about 5 yards after he got wrapped up there the first time. Trevor Moon could quickly become that thorn in TI's side here as we're heading into the later part of the game.
There is some laundry there on the field at about the 42. Maybe this will always... This is going to get brought back, and that is a tough penalty right there. With all the momentum in the world, Weedsport will lose 5 yards on this drive. Actually, they'll lose 10. So that is a completely different penalty. They will keep their first down, so it may have been an illegal block in the back, honestly, or something of that sort. Now a 1st down and 20.
Croker with the keeper here.
Get a decent game, probably a good 7-yard run, which is still a good run. The issue is with how far back they are, that now sits at a 2nd and 13. And I mean, you were saying that Trevor Moon has had some great runs. That one had all the right to be another great run for him. But it's those penalties. They're going to hurt you if you force them like that.
And T.I. caught a massive break with that penalty. If that run had been a clean run, that would have been put them in Weedsport in some good position here.
Another keeper for Hoker, and this was the TI defense that we saw in that first half that just stopped him at the line.
Right now, I've got to wonder why they're keeping the ball in Coker's hands right now. They've just had two very successful run attempts by Trevor Moon. Granted, one got called back due to the penalty, but if I was Weedsport right now, I'd be putting the ball in Trevor Moon's hands and letting him work his magic, or if you want to call it a little shake and bake, and trying to make some stuff happen for them on the offensive side of the ball here.
I agree. You got to feed the hot hand when you can. And it doesn't seem like they're willing to do that as they're on 3rd and 11.
It's a pitch out to Moon. Let's see what happens here. He's going to break up the field. He will be short, but only by a couple of yards.
Pitch to Moon.
Looks like he kind of jumps at bounds. They are having him a lot farther back than
4th down.
I had him, but this is a skinnier field. It's a little harder to see that sideline now. It is just underneath those numbers.
4th and 4 here.
Yeah, trying to get loud here in their fan base.
Yeah, he needs to push him back, and it will be short.
Coker on the keeper.
Yeah, and like you were mentioning, I'm a bit confused on the play calls there. I feel like that should have gone to Trevor Moon, but
Trevor Moon's had his way with this Thousand Islands defense here, but hey, you know, we see a lot different scenario up here, you know.
sure do,
But it will be a turnover on downs. T.I. came up with a massive stop. Coker looked like he wanted to lay out for that first down attempt here, and the Vikings defense said otherwise.
that is actually a huge stop for T.I. to get some momentum back after the first 2 drives of this half. There's a nice pass downfield.
Pass by Barnhart.
That one is caught there by Caden Spees.
Bernhardt pass to number 2.
On 4th down on their previous drive, he had one pass to him that he tipped. This one, he hangs on to and gets a 9.
About 9.
Barnhart threw a little baby hook floater there and connected, I believe it was with Spees on that, or Spies. Hopefully he didn't butcher his name on that. But
Sometimes you don't need to throw it hard to get it to the receiver you need. You just need to put it in the right spot. That's exactly what Barnhart did on that play.
Barnhart back to throw again. Here he keeps it himself. Breaks a tackle. Trevor Moon with a big hit.
On the keeper.
That is a hit that will sometimes make you question on that run. But that will get them a first down,
For first down.
as Barnhart will feel that first down for the next couple of plays. But T.I. will certainly enjoy that as they get a fresh set
48.
at the 48-yard line. Trevor Moon, I mean, with his touchdown rush and that hit, when he gets those legs moving, he's got some momentum on his side. This one going to be a handoff to William Ramzier.
Number 3, Ramzier on the carry.
Haven't called his name too much tonight,
Gain of 1.
but he'll get a yard there for a 2nd and 9. So we passed through 6 minutes here in the 3rd quarter with a now knotted up score at 6. We'll see if T.I. can get some of that momentum back that they had in that first half. So far, it's been a lot of the passing game that's worked for him. This one, Barnhart keeper.
Again.
And there he is again. Trevor Moon just flying through that line, keeping Barnhart
Not much
as
there.
close as he can. Another 1-yard gain.
And it's interesting you say how Trevor Moon's kind of had his way these last 2 plays here, this drive. And, you know, you do take a quick look and say, man, you know, how is he getting in there that quick? I would say there is a bit of a size mismatch here that's not in T.I.'s favor. Weedsport's got some big guys down there on the on their defensive line that are moving some holes to allow Trevor Moon to plow through there and make these stops that he's had so far.
Absolutely, and that's a big part of this defense. There's another run there, gets stopped.
By Moon again. Man,
I mean, he is.
Trevor Moon is having a day. Having an absolute day.
And it seemed like the first half, T.I. kind of took care of him. We didn't see too much of his tackles in the first half, and we didn't see too many of his runs go very deep. But, I mean, this whole 3rd quarter has the name Trevor Moon written all over it. So we have yet another 4th and 8 for the Vikings. They have not had too much success in this second half. But again, in that first half, I'm not sure if, I don't even recall Trevor Moon being on the defensive side. We just don't remember calling his name as that pass.
Oh, whoa, wait. Oh, do we have a little late hit here? Nope.
I guess the ref will let that one slide. Did seem kind of...
Seemed a little bit late on the hit there, but hey, we couldn't quite see when he threw it in relation to when he made contact. That will be a turnover on downs, though, for T.I.
They have struggled on the offensive side up to this point, and I think, if you ask me, Weedsport has to hand it off to the guy who's carried their defense on that last drive, Trevor Moon, who's not on the field on this play. Will be a QB keeper, and like it happened last drive, that goes nowhere.
Yeah, they're only breaking out about a yard or two on that. But, to Weedsport's defense, you got to kind of give Trevor Moon a little bit of rest. He's been an absolute workhorse out there. And, football games you can't win with one guy, but, boy, having one guy that's having a night that Trevor Moon has had is something to be recognized for sure.
Yeah, and not only is he having a good night, but that line is giving him the spaces that he needs to have that kind of a night. It seems like, though, T.I. kind of has Mason Coker's number up to this point. So he keeps it again. This time he'll get some yards out of it. Diving forward, I think he'll get a first. We'll see where they spot him. They are going to spot him on the 40. I think they're going to give him a first. We'll look.
They're going to mark him.
Oh, I think they're going to mark him. They will mark him.
They will give him the
for a first down. And that is huge for Coker. He's had quite a few runs of his that haven't gone very far. So that one, to run his team for a first down, that gives you some confidence as a QB kind of all around the game, even with just a run play like that. So we'll see him keep this one as well. Cutting up the field, the flag comes in. Eventually they'll bring him down after a gain of 3.
On the keeper. Flag on the play.
And that's going to be a holding,
Weedsport.
which has been the penalty that has stumped Weedsport Wolverines in the second half. They've had a couple of plays that have been big, but these penalty flags have been the killers for them. As now another flag comes in after the play. And I think that's an illegal substitution. Some different rules here in 8-man football, but it seemed it was happening when one player was coming off and one player was going on. It's an offensive penalty, but the ball does not move. So I myself am quite confused on the call. But
I'm very confused. I'm glad you had somewhat remote idea because I didn't know what was going on there for a second. I thought it was maybe going to end up being unsportsmanlike. Maybe one of the players said something the refs didn't quite like coming off the field.
And now this will be a timeout. So a lot going on between snaps.
Yeah, Weedsport called that timeout smartly to let their guys kind of get reset. And coach is talking to the ref there. There's some miscommunications going on, and it doesn't appear he's too happy. But I know somebody that would be happy to help take care of you in time of need. That's Carthage Area Hospital, our replay sponsor for the high school football season this year. If you have an orthopedic injury, North Country Orthopedics offers same-day appointments. Call 315-782-1650 today and get the care you need. I've met some of the wonderful doctors at North Country Orthopedics a couple of different times. Awesome people to work with, and you will be 100% in the best hands. And great deals are happening here at Bob Johnson. Give them a call, 315-965-8072. And, hey, don't forget, every Friday, $5 car washes. If you're somebody like me that likes to keep their car clean and looking good, go check them out. It's a pretty good car wash they got going on.
Weedsport gets set for a first and very long as they're going to air
Coker
this
lets
one
that
out.
fly.
Oh, what
and it
defense.
will fall incomplete.
A great great defensive play there
Broken up.
from Drake Rios. Deflected that one from the intended receiver, who I believe was
Anthony Torchi.
It was a very deep bomb downfield.
We'll say I was a bit surprised to see that ball fly that far in the air from Coker here.
I haven't seen him pass it too much, but he's letting it fly there.
He's going to go into Moon's hands.
He'll get a few here, and they won't even bring him down. Their whistles will come in, and it'll be a 3rd down and very long for him.
One thing to note here, too, is if you've been paying attention at all to the last number of runs that Trevor Moon's had, they haven't punched it up the middle with him. They haven't seen as much success with that, but they're letting him bounce it to, either a strong side or weak side, depending upon the defense here. And once he turns that corner, he does what I like to call a little turn and burn, and those legs get moving. And by the time he hits that corner, he's cruising along and kind of leaving the defense in his tracks. Coker keeps it. It's going to be a pass play. But no, he's going to have to keep it here. Oh. Pass gets deflected.
A little bit of an intriguing play there. Looked like Ryan Mickle was the intended receiver. Kind of looked like I believe the pass kind of went behind him. He tried to reach back for it with one hand.
And Caden spies with the defense and the breakup on that pass attempt. Wasn't sure what Coker was thinking there. I think I don't even know if he knew what he was thinking. He was dropped back as if he was going to throw, then he was going to run it, then he was going to throw it again. So
just kind of looking for something, I guess. Here on 4th down, they'll go for their punt.
Try and sneak a punt out here.
This is going to roll, but took a quick U-turn and bounced back to about the 13.
Ball is down.
Not where I'd want to be if I was in T.I.'s shoes here. But Weedsport is, and I've never seen this in any football I've ever watched, they're just setting up as if it's a normal play and kicking the ball away.
They have.
It's an interesting read here, interesting option. And you would think that T.I. may have a guy that drops a little further back to be ready if they try and spring that on them again, because it has not worked in T.I.'s favor all that much tonight, except for the first attempt. It only, they were in such good field position.
A little bit of a muff snap, and
that is a
Weedsport's
fumble.
Gonna fall
Weedsport
on
will
top.
recover. Costly mistake there for Thousand Islands.
We've seen a couple of muff snaps from TI, but for the most part, Barnhart's been able to pick it up as we take a look at this one. I mean, just to start a new drive, he just kind of kicked away from him, and that's Ryan Mickle who dives on top of that. And now all of a sudden, Weedsport's looking to punch this in and take their first lead of the game. And
now all of a sudden, Trevor Moon's back there. He's going to take a direct snap, I bet you, and take off. Yep, and he's off to the races. He's going to punch it in all the way to the end zone. No surprise there, as Weedsport wisely smartened up and sent Trevor Moon running up the middle. And kudos to the Weedsport offensive lineman there. They opened up a hole so big a Mack truck could fit through for their running back. They're going to go for 2 here.
Back-to-back replays here. I mean, you could see he had one guy coming at him, and he just juked out of the way and found the hole that the offensive line opened for him.
He's going to go back to Moon. He's going to punch it in for 2.
Another great block there on the far side. I believe Nathan Bertless, he was kind of leading the block in front. In fact, led the block so well that Trevor Moon ran into the back of him in the end zone. Is now all of a sudden, I mean, the first half,
we got a new ball game on our hands.
First half, it was all TI. They were kind of they had the 6-point lead, but the defense was standing very strong and keeping Weedsport way back. But Weedsport has found the answer, and it is Trevor Moon. He has had his way in this second half with now 2 touchdowns, and he now has that 1 2-point conversion to put them up by 8 here late in the third quarter, just over a minute to go.
Rios back to receive here.
back to that squib kick, but that's going to go out of bounds as the ref just kind of drops the flag in front of him, as that will be an illegal kick out of bounds, and that will move the ball forward.
I gotta wonder tonight too why we've seen so many squid kicks in the little dink and dunk kind of kicks that have dropped in only 10-15 yards down the field. Wonder if that's a little trying to play a little strategy, or just that ball's not flying all that well off the foot tonight.
I think it can be a little bit of a mixture of both. You have, obviously it is chilly and the wind is blowing, so kicking the ball high in the air, that does cause that ball to shake around a little bit. But I think part of the strategy is just hoping for a weird bounce and possibly your team to jump on it. As just before this snap, we're going to get a jump on the Weedsport side, and TI will certainly take that one. Andrew Powers.
Offside. Weedsport.
That is not going to help
First and 5.
their cause here
The Viking, 45.
for the first down. They're now trying to hold on to a lead.
TI needs to convert the first down here. Need to clean the plays up here a little bit.
It's another low snap.
Number 3.
William Ramsier now with the carry, but that's the second snap that the quarterback has had to pick up from almost his ankles.
Bring up the second down.
It's a dangerous play to run, but Barnhart's handled it pretty well outside of that one fumble down there at the 5, where it just kind of kicked away from him. He's been able to scoop it up pretty well. That one right to his chest. It's going to be a handoff to Rios, who kicks it to the outside, kind of trips up, gets caught up.
Flag in.
Number 19, Drake Rios. On the carry.
Face mask. That is going to be some big-time yardage for the Vikings, as that will definitely give them an easy new first down with a little bit of extra credit tacked on. And now all of a sudden they are on the other side of the 50. And this is a big drive for TI. They need to answer back-to-back touchdowns for Weedsport. They need to start playing more TI football. We saw it in the first half. We know what they're capable of, but Weedsport has had their answer. We'll see if they can get back into that, or if Weedsport will have more of the same.
Another low snap. Barnhart's looking for a receiver. Has to throw it away there. Not what you want to have happen if you're TI right now. This needs to be your drive where you answer back and quiet the Weedsport momentum here. Because, I would say Weedsport still does have the momentum. A couple miscues on the defensive side of the ball right now. But Thousand Islands needs to, clean it up just a little bit and be a little more efficient marching down the field and punch one in here.
Yeah, they need to figure out what's working and continue more and more of that if they can. It doesn't seem like much of it has worked for them, but if they can get Weedsport back on their toes, back to the
Barnhart to
air,
pass again.
in and out of the hands of Seth Fulton.
Not a great look by Barnhart there. His receiver was way far out ahead of him, and he put it off his back foot and right into traffic. So potentially could have been a very messy pass. But that will redo it here with a 3rd down and 10, I believe. Yep, 3rd down and 10 here.
Yeah, if you're gonna, especially if you're gonna pass on that, you need to get yards there. That's got to be out in front of him. That one right through the hands. Right through the hands of Caden Spees. He looked like he had a lane, but it just squeaked right through the hands. With this kind of a cold night, ball can slip through if you're not careful, and that's going to turn into a 4th down and 10. 3 straight incompletions from this TI offense, and we have seen yet another defensive stop from the Weedsport Wolverines.
This will more than likely be the last play of the third quarter here from Thousand Islands High School. The game has been quite interesting here. Barnhart back to pass again. Deep ball. It's going to be just past his receiver. Weedsport with a heck of a defensive stop here. Once again, and Weedsport did take even more momentum back here as we're about to close out the third quarter. Looks like Weedsport will have about one play left here in the third quarter.
I mean, a pass like that, it's tough to land a high arcing pass like that one. Very difficult to know where your receiver will be by the time that football lands. That one just overthrew it. It's going to happen, especially at this level. But now Weedsport, with as much momentum as they have, get to continue that.
Coker looked like he had a good lead blocker there, but TI defense swarmed him and was still able to bring him down only after a gain of about 1 or 2 on the play. And that brings us to the end of the third quarter here. Take a quick second rundown through our awesome sponsors for our high school football. Wide drive to Syracuse, Rochester, Utica, or Vermont. North Star Health Alliance keeps healthcare local and close to home, right where you need it. If you are in the market for a used car, Bob Johnson has the largest used car inventory in the area. Make sure you go check them. They've got new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Rams. They got all sorts of stuff. I've seen their inventory, and their lot is full. And they've got the sports cars, the trucks, the cars, SUVs, anything you could imagine. Boy, it is there. Come check out their all-new trail-rated Wrangler. And one other sponsor we haven't made a lot of mention here of tonight, but boy, we can't go without mentioning them here, as I'm starting to get hungry as the game is winding down, and that's Drex Subs. Go to your local Drex Subs today and try their sub of the month, their cold subs, their hot subs, their sides, their appetizers. One of the few places, one of the few sub shops where you can get fried pickles and a sub in the same stop. Can't beat it. And can't beat all the other deals you can find there at Drex Subs. So go visit your local Drex Subs. Coker gets the snap.
He's starting to get some more yards here in the second half. Kind of struggled in the first half, but he's finding his way. He's finding his feet.
I'd like to see the stat line after tonight's game for Coker because, as you saw in the first half here, he couldn't really get much more than a yard or two at a carry, but now he's starting to break it out for 3, 4, 5 yards a carry here, and those do add up.
Direct snap. Trevor Moon
catches it again. He's off to the races. He is wide open. He is going to waltz his way into the end zone here for Weedsport and punch it in for another touchdown. Trevor Moon has definitely turned the switch here in the second half and become explosive. And I mean explosive for Weedsport here as he punches in his second touchdown of the night. And now Thousand Islands is put really against the wall here because now it's a 2-possession game for them as we're heading into the home stretch here tonight. Thousand Islands just looks very dejected right now, and their defense rightfully so. Game does get long, but boy, they got to put a stop up here, and they can't let this 2 go. But Moon is going to take the direct snap here again. Oh, he does hand it off. Thousand Islands gave up on that play and let I don't know who
Anthony
that was.
Tortorici.
I just say, Anthony, God bless you.
Anthony Tortorici with that carry. And he wouldn't go down. It seemed like TI kind of gave up on it, thinking they had him.
We're going to take another look at that here.
This one, the Trevor Moon run, I mean, that was some great blocking there from that offensive line. He was
gone.
He was gone from the snap. That was a great run from Trevor Moon. I mean, we said it earlier in the second half, feed the hot hand, and the hot hand he has been on both sides of the ball, actually, running it all over the place, and he's actually gotten himself quite a few big-time tackles on the defensive side, and he actually got a handoff there for Anthony to run that in for those 2 points. And this has been a very different game in the second half.
Little chip shot of a kick there as Rios bobbles the ball up a little bit, but they do down him at about the 26-yard line.
Looked like when he picked it up, his knee was still on the ground.
Yeah.
In the NFL, you can keep running, but at this level, that is going to be a down.
Does look like Trevor Moon now has jumped to the front of the race for tonight's player of the game for sure, with the solid performance that he's put up for Weedsport.
And he was having a decent first half, but it just wasn't a complete. We couldn't really call him a player of the game if he wasn't going to score, but this second half he certainly found his mark. Is this one another pass over to Seth Fulton? I'll run it out to about the 30. We'll see exactly. They spot him. Looks like they will spot him at the 30. That'll be a gain of 4 and a 2nd and 6 for the Vikings. As we are just about a minute into this fourth quarter. And it has been a very different second half. If you can believe it, we ended the first half with the score 6-0 with the Vikings in the lead. And we are sitting here now with a minute passed into the fourth, and the score being 22-6 with the Weedsport Wolverines in the lead. We see, a fake from that same screen.
Barnhart with the completion to Rios. But it would not. Oh, they did mark him in bounds. Okay. I always forget now that Skinner Field. I'm looking at the wrong line here. But that was a first down for Thousand Islands. Barnhart connected with Rios on the play.
Good pass there, and it was a great play drawn up there from T.I. Looking for the same formation and almost the exact same play that they just ran with that screen.
Barnhart back to pass. He keeps it, takes off. T.I. is going to be looking for a little bit of a hold there. A lot of jersey was being tugged. Gained about a couple yards there.
And I like what T.I. is doing. They're trying to mask each play by going for the same look of every single play, trying to get Weedsport to look in a specific direction only for the ball to go in a different direction and try and pick up some yards out of it. Really shows that T.I. is just trying to scrap some yards out of this. For a 2nd and 7. This time they're just going to look.
They do get the first down. Barnhart finally gets the connection.
That's Caden Spees right there. We've heard his name a couple of times on those pass plays. But again, you see over on this near side, you see the exact same play being masked. Nice job here from the offensive part that's not actually a part of the play to mask it and keep this defense on their toes as they go back to that screen pass to Seth Fulton.
Seth Fulton's moving now. It's up to about the 41-yard line before he's brought down.
That flag's going to come in. That might be a late hit because he came out of bounds with this out-of-bounds line that is somewhat difficult to see and then was tackled. So this may be a late hit.
Personal foul, Weedsport.
So it will be a personal foul on
Weedsport.
And that will add on to that pretty decent play for T.I.
Looks like a late hit, out of bounds.
They are going to call him for the late hit. And that's what's difficult with this kind of a field. That blue line is the out-of-bounds line with this narrower field due to the 8-man game. And it's tough to see when you're just kind of running for somebody. They go for now a screen pass. He dropped it. Thankfully, a forward pass. That can be tricky. That just bounced off of William Ramsier's hands. And like I was saying, that blue line that's tough to see when you're just chasing somebody down. Sometimes you can get caught with a late hit like that. Shocked we haven't seen more of those. As they now will have a 2nd down inside the 30 at about the 26. So we'll see Barnhart back. Fakes that little screen pass, gets wrapped up. Tried to stay on his feet.
Big loss for Thousand Islands as Barnhart got brought back.
Down to the backfield.
Probably lost about 10 yards on that play. Not what you need to have happen if you're Thousand Islands right now, but heck of a stop here for Weedsport. Weedsport is trying desperately to put the nail in this game and walk away with the win here. Thousand Islands, though, not going down without a fight here at the moment.
No, and that's Ryan Mickle. We've heard his name a little bit more often in the second half on the defensive side. He is a strong linebacker for this team. So we see yet another pass play. A flag comes in. That's going to be a holding. And we'll see if they will. And another flag comes in. I'm not sure if that's a different penalty or if they will keep it on the same one. But that will almost certainly be a holding on the offense. As he was trying to roll out, it looked like that lineman who was kind of following him kind of grabbed the defender who was right with him. But you can't do that. So we'll see what Weedsport plans to do with this, because it is third down and a country mile. And there's the holding, but it gets deflected. But now they're going to call him for intentional grounding. So there was 2 penalties on the play. And intentional grounding will be called. That one will be accepted. And the intentional grounding penalty does involve a loss of a down and a loss of 5 yards. So it will be 4th and 25 starting at the 40. This is a long one. Needless to say, you either punt here or you're going to have to pass very deep. Barnhart, he's going to look to pass. Getting pressure. Tries to stiff arm a man, but gets brought back all the way down to the other side of the field.
Heck of a stop there for Weedsport.
That's Nathan Bertless right there. Haven't heard his name much, but he has shown his presence before. And it's tough when you're trying to go for a deep play like that. You got to have time for your receivers to get downfield, and in that time you can have a defender break through like what happened on that play. That's some nice fielding position for Weedsport here. There's going to be a straight snap to Trevor Moon. He's going to try and push.
Finally able to stop him there. Been a problem subject for TI here, but finally able to stop him after only a gain of maybe a yard or not even a yard at that. Now they actually are going to give him 2. TI needs to get a stop here to have any prayer and chance to put another score up or get themselves back in the game.
Moon again. This time he's actually going to hand it off. He'll get a big hit there, but he still pushes his way forward for a solid gain. It looks like they'll be sitting at a 3rd and 2.
If I'm TI right now, I'm hoping Weedsport's going to try and put the ball in the air and we get the deflection to kill the clock and stop the clock here. This time is not on Thousand Island side right now.
As we just passed through 4 minutes gone in the 4th quarter. I mean, TI, who at the end of the first was looking to kill the clock, now trying to save it. This going to be a quarterback keeper. He'll get stopped. The clock will continue to run, but it'll be a 4th down.
And an important thing to keep in note here as we hit the last half of the 4th quarter. TI does have all 3 timeouts left. So if they can get the ball back, they might be able to use it and salvage a good chunk of the clock, but might be too little too late for Thousand Islands right now. But it isn't over until that final buzzer sounds. Thousand Islands right now, though, is looking very out of sync, and I don't want to say dejected, but they're tired. You can see the arms are crossed, our hands are on the hips a little bit right now. But it's tough because a lot of these guys are playing both sides of the ball. So, you playing both sides of the ball. Gets to be a long night out there.
And it looks like Weedsport may just take this to the end of the play clock, and exactly as I was thinking, they're just going to call timeout here. So they are going to use all of those seconds in the play clock to waste as much time as they can before they punt this one. And then now they will take their time to draw this play up. We'll see if they will punt. We haven't seen them at this part of the field on 4th down. We've seen them further back where they've punted, and we've mentioned before, their punting formation is a bit obscure, but
let's hope T.I. put somebody back to receive the ball here this time.
they may want to with how many yards that they'll need, but they also want to make sure that they don't get fooled of a fake. So it looks like they actually have Trevor Moon set to take the snap. He'll take it, and he'll run it, and he'll get the first down.
He's off to the races again. He's walking into the end zone now, and it does appear that Trevor Moon has just put the nail in the coffin for the Vikings, unfortunately, and scored I believe his 3rd touchdown of the night. Trevor Moon with a heck of a night here for the Weedsport Wolverines. Can't ask for much better. We're going to take a look at it here again. Once again, no doubter, his offensive line blows a hole wide open, so big you can fit a Mack truck through there, and allowed Trevor Moon to be able to just basically waltz into the end zone.
He has had an incredible second half. And I mean, T.I. knew that it was either going to be a punt or a run play, so they stacked up the line. But as soon as Trevor got past the line, there was no one back there for help. As here on the 2-point conversion, it's going to be a QB keeper, and he'll little walk right into the end zone, and it will change the score to 30-6, which, after watching that first half, I would not have predicted that we would be sitting here with a score 30-6. But Trevor Moon has had, I mean, it's not even to say he's had a video game second half. He's had a video game second half with the sliders turned up. I mean, he is everything that could go right for Trevor Moon in this second half has gone above and beyond right for him. And that includes his offensive line getting some of those incredible blocks and opening a lane perfectly for him to just take off and show off his speed. As they will kick off yet again. This one, another little squib as T.I. will just kind of fall on it. Kind of an odd little fall there, but they will get possession here at about the 38. As they will start yet another drive. And it will take a lot for this team to get back in it, down 24 with 6.5 minutes to go. It's not impossible, but it will certainly take a ton, especially with how their offense has gone here in the second half. This is a handoff that will get about a yard before he is stuffed. I mean, this Weedsport defense, who felt like they were back on their heels the entire first half, seems to be pushing the ball forward for their side, or backwards for T.I. in the second half. They have had their way. This one, another handoff, and before he even gets the ball, he is wrapped up. And that right there is the story of the second half. The defense has, I mean, again, like, I am speechless with how well this Weedsport team has flipped the script between the first half and the second half. I was not prepared for this.
No, like I've said, I thought it was going to be T.I. most of the way in that first half, but boy, Weedsport flipped that second half switch on. has been in control all of this half. Thousand Islands is just caught totally unexpected right now and not sure what to do to try and get something put together here. Barnhart's back to pass.
A little bit of a low throw. That'll fall incomplete. And it'll be 4th and 13. And, yeah, like you were saying, I mean, TI, it's not really looking for, you know, a specific type of play. They're really just looking for something to work. Really, in this second half, nothing has worked for them. That first half, they had that run game going for them. But now it just seems like they are trapped in a place where they can't go. As now they will actually punt. First time we see them punt tonight, as that will
Looks
give
like
them a very favorable
it
roll.
will fall out of bounds.
Very favorable roll for TI as that goes all the way down inside the 30, which will be where Weedsport will take over with under 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And if you're Weedsport, it's a very interesting drive here. You kind of want to waste the clock, but you're also up by enough that you're not too worried to waste the clock. So we'll see if we'll see which direction they go. If they will start to share the wealth a little bit differently, because we are getting close to the end of the regular season. We'll see what they do here, as they will hand it off. And he is going to break that one to the outside before getting knocked out of bounds. That's Anthony Tortorici who gets that one, and he runs that for a first down. Runs it out of bounds, which stops the clock. Not that Weedsport needs to.
Weedsport keeping their looks the same right now. Not a whole lot different. It's just they're changing up, I think, who the targets are for these plays now, spreading the wealth around a little bit.
That one going to be a handoff to Lincoln. Been set. And he'll get back to the line, maybe a foot farther. I think they'll just mark him right at the line. Oh, no, they'll give him a couple extra feet. And it'll be second down for the Wolverines. As this time the clock will continue to run as we will get close to the 4-minute mark left here in the fourth quarter. Weedsport quarterback not even ready to take the snap. Looks like they will let this play clock run before they will snap this one, if they will snap it at all. And he will. He'll hand it off behind him. That's Cole Jankowski, who's pushing forward. Not sure how much they'll give him on that one. They'll give him a couple. And it looks like it'll be 3rd and 7.
Weedsport looks like they're going to start settling into a victory formation here. Taking a lot more time off that clock. They've got a comfortable lead, so now it's kind of just letting their guys catch their breaths a little bit and trying to run some more clock out here for the game.
They will fake the handoff there. It's going to be a QB keeper. He kind of gets wrapped up, but he's going to keep fighting. Kind of fall, well, he'll fall on his back, but he'll fall forwards. And it'll now be a 4th and 3. Well, looks like the other ref will mark him back a yard farther back than I was thinking. So it'll be 4th and 4. We'll see what the Wolverines do here. I believe if they get the first down, they will possibly be able to just get another first down or two and be able to sit in that victory formation and just kneel it away. But they definitely would need something here unless they punt it away, which I'm sure they would not be too worried of punting it. And they will. That's a high punt, but that'll give them a favorable bounce. Going out to about the 30. They'll stop it at the 29 as some Wolverines surround it. They kind of hold hands around the football there. And TI will pick this one up with 2:02 left in the fourth quarter. And I think it's pretty safe to say that this one is just about wrapped up. TI will get probably one more drive in before Weedsport will take over and close this one out.
I'm Thousand Islands right now. I'm just trying to test a few things out, see, try some new play schemes out potentially.
A little bit of a muff punt.
Can't do that on that snap, as that was a muffed snap there. And it's been the story for Barnhart's night. He can't really catch much of a break. It's been at least 4 muffed snaps, and you muff those snaps. Can't really do a whole heck of a lot. You just got to contain the ball and contain the bleeding. So yeah, it's Barnhart's trying to make something happen here.
Yeah, and I mean another thing that TI does need is some sort of momentum going into next week. You try to hand this one off. Goes a couple. Good push forward there.
Number 35.
That one, Aiden Cantwell with the carry. He pushes forward. As we'll see if what TI will do here on this third and very long. Another little low snap.
Another low snap.
And it looks like he will just kind of dive forward.
Forward for a few yards.
That's another one for Aiden Cantwell.
35.
Crowd seems to enjoy watching that handoff. Had a good fan base for him. We're under 40 seconds left in the fourth. I don't see there to be too much of a fight here from TI. We'll see if they even run a play or if they'll just punt it back.
Give a quick shout out here real quick before the end of our game to our sponsors. Thanks to Direct Subs. If you are hungry and looking for a good snack, go see Direct Subs. Find your local Direct Subs today. In the market for a used car, new car, whatever car, go see our friends Bob Johnson. They got so much inventory, I don't even know where to start to look. And then Carthage Area Hospital, who has brought you all of our replays so far this season and will continue to bring them into the last week or two of our season here. If you are in need of any medical care, orthopedic, non-orthopedic, got a little boo-boo, a little scratch, go see Carthage Hospital. They got some of the best care in the area. And you're about to hear from our last sponsor here in about 8 seconds when we announce the player of the game, which I think is pretty self-explanatory for all of you guys that have been watching the game here. He's had himself a beautiful night. I believe it's 4 touchdowns now that he got himself. It's either 3 or 4 touchdowns. And played a heck of a defensive stance here. Really made the Thousand Islands offensive line kind of look confused and dazed out there. And that will take us to the end of the game here. And it is finally time, folks, to announce our IBEW 910 Nika player of the game. And that will go to the one and only number 5, Trevor Moon, out of Weedsport. And especially the fact the first half, we really didn't hear much of Trevor. Had his name called a couple times, but nothing, nothing crazy. But he turned that second half switch on, and he had himself a heck of a game. So once again, that will be number 5, Trevor Moon, player of the game, sponsored by IBEW Nika 910. And folks, that will do it here for us from Thousand Islands. On behalf of Zach Zabriskie, Josh Madison, myself, Nate Madison, and our awesome camera crew, we are signing off, and we will catch you next week as we bring you the Lowville General Brown game right here on our NBC YouTube channel next Friday, 7 o'clock. And don't forget, folks, we are now on TikTok under NBC Watertown. You can find all of our highlights and awesome plays from the previous week's game, a.k.a. this game you're watching right now there. And we hope to see you soon. Everybody have a great night. Stay safe, and we'll see you next week.